Josh, I'll throw this next one to you. Santiago and I had Olaf Carlson-Wee from Polychain on the podcast last week, and one thing that he mentioned, he said, look, the kind of CeFi companies will be the on-ramps, and the reason being, they can plug in with the banks. DeFi will own the order books. So again, CeFi owns the on-ramp, DeFi owns the order books. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Interesting. I think historically DeFi has been really difficult to access for most people. If you say to them, you've got to open your MetaMask, you've got to plug your ledger in, you've got to add an RPC network, you've got to make sure the token's been added, most people will look at you like you're a lunatic. It's really difficult to get your average person to do their first transaction. And I mean your average person, maybe not the people in this room, but your average person. So the friction associated with being involved in DeFi is pretty high, and it has been historically. Now, what we're seeing is and a great example was what you saw at the Coinbase presentation earlier, is making the entry point into DeFi easier and easier. And that's a mission that we're on, enabling people to create MPC-secured, decentralized wallets, and then at their own volition, connect those wallets to any, for example, Web3 wallet, like MetaMask or Wallet Connect, or connect that directly to a DeFi protocol. In our mind, it's all about choice, freedom of choice. I think there will be inevitably easier user journeys, and Coinbase seem to be finding a place within that, i.e. giving their centralized Coinbase app users the ability to open a self-custodial wallet within that environment and connect that to different ecosystems. I think that's great because it means the whole user journey gets easier and easier. The question will be, can you create a decentralized user journey that is as good or better than a centralized service? I think we've seen some examples of that, and there are still some teething pains in the space. But overall, giving people access to decentralized finance is really important because it's very easy for us in the US or the UK or Europe to say, well, do people really need access to this decentralized space? Having worked at different exchanges and had teams around the world in places where they couldn't get banked, where you can't get payroll, where sometimes you can't open a bank account because you live in a certain place, or you're from a certain country and your bank account gets shut down, you're giving people the means to hold on to and protect and safeguard their own value. So from a moral perspective, I think it's really important that both the decentralized and the centralized space try and work together to figure out the right way to give people that access, because it is so, so important for everyone, not just us in this room here in the US, but for folks that are unbanked as well, giving them the tools that they can use to receive their salary, as one simple example.